used to eat an entire bowl of them in a heartbeat, giving yourself a tummy ache. Your parents used to gently make fun of you for it, and... Uh-oh. Oh no. No. Siffrin? Siffrin? Siffrin, breathe. Just breathe, Siffrin. You don't need to warp out of this. It's fine. Your... parents? Your head hurts. God. So, all cards on the table now. Now, I know how I normally do this as far as like formatting for this series. It's not going to be that way this time. So, things are going to seem a little choppy for this episode. Is that we're just only going to have the points that are new or anything that's important to the actual events of the story here. And you know what? The reason being is that we are just so close. I have this feeling that we are just so extremely close to having everything done, because we're taking our final steps here, because there's not much more else that we really need to do. The only clear direction we have right now is that we have to get through everything in the house, start to finish, no jumping, no looping, and we have to find articles about the king throughout the house. That is the main focus of this loop. And maybe it's enough for us to figure out, to get an idea of like where the power of Timecraft is actually coming from, and see if there's any sort of connection that Siffrin has with it that's allowing them to do this as well. We have enough evidence to at least surmise that the loop is triggered not through death, not through any sort of blockage, but it is an emotional response. It is a response that Siffrin has full control of, and yet they either don't realize it or they don't want to realize it and remember it, and having to do with their past. So perhaps even this time, I'm hoping that once we get to Euphrasia, is that we'll be able to actually not talk to them at the end and go on. Because talking to them triggers it. If we can go about just ignoring them, or if we can find a way to keep ourselves calm enough that things don't loop, we can probably listen to everything Euphrasia has to say and possibly continue. With the support of our family here, perhaps we can actually deal with that. I don't know. I mean, I am really grasping at straws and ideas on like how this is going to proceed. But that's the way things are going to go. So please forgive me for the formatting of this episode this time. It's just going to seem pretty choppy jumping around. Okay? Now with that taken care of, you purposefully trip on a small rock. Ha! Whoa, you okay, Sif? You give a thumbs up. You're clumsy and not at all threatening and overpowered compared to them. Yeah, that's right. Absolutely right. There's nothing wrong. It's not like we've been making sure that we, don't take the first turn that comes along and just let them do the work, because they're our family. We don't want to scare our family with how easily we can get rid of all these sadnesses again. Oh dear. Oh boy. Okay, so I've got this portion out, but I'm trying to see if actually not having any of the time dilations happen might actually trigger something with this run as well. So then again, they're gonna notice that we're doing something weird anyway, because we're not being as forceful. Oh boy. Hit the counter back. Okay, that's interesting. This time when we hit the counter, we hit it back. Oh!
Bad counter.
Let's beat it up!
Isabelle and Bonnie kick the counter too. You feel better. Oh crap. Damn it. I forgot. I completely frickin' forgot. I thought that the walk was in the counter, in the sparkling counter that right next to us. God damn it. Damn it, another one. Another frickin' one I forgot about. Crap. Well, this is the candle room where we're supposed to actually learn more about Timecraft, yes. Perhaps, I mean, I'm hoping that if we get few enough where Odile doesn't quite notice and stare at us, maybe that's the point. Maybe that's the absolute limit. Odile flips through the book. This is just in case something new comes up, since this is going to be the second time we've gone over it. It does have a section on Timecraft. Alright. So, Timecraft is, as the name implies, the power to wield and craft time itself. It's a type of craft that's been hypothesized to exist for decades, but its existence has never been proven. Until now, right?
Stopping time. That's what the king does, right? So the king is using Timecraft?
The king most likely is, yes. Which would make it the first time in history someone managed to harvest that power. Outside of stories told in family tales, that is.
I've heard scholars outside of Vogard are really excited right now. Timecraft confirmed to be real.
So they're happy because he froze people in time?
Well, it's more complicated than that. Morals aside, it does change everything we knew about Timecraft. Think about how Timecraft could be used. The king is only stopping people's time, but it could be used for many other things. It could be used to hasten or slow people's time, too. Maybe make people's bodies younger or older. Maybe make buds grow into trees in an instant.
Worst case scenario, it could be used to change history itself. Crafting time to go back in time and change history.
Wow!
Worst case scenario. The possibilities are endless and terrifying.
Definitely not the kind of power you want in someone's hands.
And definitely not someone like the king. And correct me if I'm wrong, but crafting time wouldn't be like crafting clay to a specific shape or crafting a sword. Those are easy enough to do and won't tire you out. But crafting time? Something in basic as essential as time? Wouldn't it ask for immense amounts of power? Exactly. Crafting clay barely asks for any power from the user. But crafting time. It was theorized that crafting time, even to pause time for a single second, would probably kill the user immediately.
Kill them dead?
Kill them dead.
And yet, the king is still alive.
So it raises the question, what gave him enough power to use Timecraft without dying? And how did he learn how to use it?
Good questions, Isabel. You have pretty smart insight sometimes.
I sure do.
Yeah. Timecraft is what the king uses, and it's dangerous. Got it.
I suppose talking about this was useful. I'm surprised you're curious about this, though. Siffrin. You shrug. Okay, she still does look at us curiously about us being curious about this. I don't know. I kind of think that it's not quite possible. It's not quite possible to not have Odile at least take notice of us because of how perceptive she actually is. But I think it would be best for us to try and minimize how many time dilations we actually have then. Now don't hit the pillow. The pillow is one of the items. Don't touch the bed over there on the far right. There seem to be various newspaper articles about the king. You never looked at them very closely before, have you? You take a step forward.
Oh! So many articles about the king!
His conquest was slow enough that the Velgardian press had time to write about him. I remember that. But there's no one to write them now. You all start reading random articles.
This article is about his slow march to Dormont's house.
This one is about him probably being from another country than Vogard.
Huh? He really isn't Velgardian then?
Oh, apparently not.
This article says there's no record of him anywhere, up until he appeared out of thin air sometime in his adulthood. Looks like he lived in the city of Corbeau for a few years before he became the king.
So he was a traveler? Like Fernandile?
Please, don't compare us to him, thank you. That's right. He did talk about Velgardians before. The way he phrased it, it did seem like he thought of Velgardians as people other than himself. And he said he thought of Vogard as welcoming. Always willing to welcome people in, even someone with no name, no home to speak of. You should go and ask the king where he's from later.
Oh, this article is about his fashion sense.
Huh?
From what I've heard, he does have a very distinctive hairstyle.
This article is more about his armor, actually. They even included a sketch. Look!
Well, it's very... shiny?
I suppose.
Very imposing.
There's something that caught your attention, though. His crown, his shoulder parts, the patterns. Oh dear. Can we only ask about one thing? This seems like all information that we probably could use. Well, the crown would be kind of obvious since it's, he calls himself the king, really, so... His shoulder parts. They are indeed much larger than himself, but then again, that's kind of a style that was always done with pauldrons. The patterns.
The patterns? On his chest and gauntlets, you mean?
It's just a weird losange.
I'm surprised you know what that word is, Bonnie. I'm not even sure what a losange is either.
What's so weird about that?
Those are stars.
Stars? What's a star?
Are you serious, Bonnie? Are you serious?
The dots in the sky. Sif and I were looking at them yesterday, remember?
Ow. This article here does mention his speech mannerisms. Stars and sky-related things seem to be something he comes back to often.
Stars, huh?
What could be interesting about them?
Stars. Is there somewhere in the house where you could find out more about them? Oh no. That would be the 3rd floor. But the thing is that requires us to use the star crest into a dead end. Oh dear. This is wonderful. So in order to find out more about the king, we're going to have to go into a dead end again. But if we loop, we're going to lose everything, aren't we? Oh god. I'd hate to have to go back through everything all over again from the very beginning in order to keep the family aesthetic and idea and connection that we all have again. God, I may just have to in order to find out. Almost. Goddamn, that critical was over 4,000. It's pretty good that we're making sure Siffrin doesn't attack a lot, because then that would be extremely suspicious. That might have even be enough to take out the anxiety just on its own. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure how much HP and anxiety actually has. Is that new? Is that the first time she said this? Ah, okay, so... Alright, I wasn't necessarily commenting about it or doing the voice, but she didn't say anything about, like, being acquaintances or anything like that. Still looks to be the same. Okay, she's still suspicious of us. Interesting. Now, we did not look at every single time dilation or like item equipment pickup on this floor. Excuse me. But I do wonder if that doesn't matter. Especially at this point. Odile seems lost in thought. Timecraft, huh? So that's probably the reason why they're acting like this, because we looked at the Craftonomy book. She's looking at you weird. Did you do something wrong? Leave me be now. I need some alone time. But you leave Odile be. Okay, so this is a checkpoint then for us here. We've been through the first floor, and as you've already seen before, is that we discovered the articles there on the first floor. I had thought for some reason that it was going to be in, the head housemaiden's room. Office. There may still be some stuff in there, but this does also suggest then as well, when we were looking at the pattern of the stars, is that we're gonna have to look through the astrology room that's on the third floor. Now, I'm seriously hoping that if we go through it and then loop back to our start point on floor 3, we won't have to go back immediately to Dormont in order to actually get their crafts. I don't know. I really hope not, because I have a feeling that we need to have those experiences in order to actually ensure the fact that we'll be able to muster up enough courage and gusto to face the emotional situation that's going to befall us when we talk to Euphrasia. Euphrasia, I think that's actually how it's supposed to be pronounced. But, one floor down, 2 more to go. Get out of the way there, mouse! Evil! Evil mouse. Well, not really evil, no. It's just that, not necessarily needing to be on the screen. So. While passing through, you take a deep breath and... You quickly poked Odile's side. Beyond throwing you a look, she doesn't react. You try not to smile. Isn't king just a title he chose?
Yes, but he chose it. Calling him something else would be rude.
Yeah, that's just basic manners.
You wonder if calling him king might have given him more notoriety than you should have. Alright, so nothing in particular about that, so the first floor had to have been the one that we really needed to see, then. Of course, are we going to have to loop back to the first floor again to get different information from that article? Because there were 3 different options. We look at the pattern on his armor, which involved the stars, which shows his connection to the stars, like ourselves. Hopefully we'll be able to learn more in the, is that in the astrology room? Or the astrology? No, astronomy. The astronomy room, so, or, the stargazing room. That thing. That thing. Whatever it's freaking called, it's that room. That room up there. Yes, on the 3rd floor. Oh, here's something new. Okay, so I just looked at this statue of Olgra here, and now I'm getting this interaction.
Siffrin, are you curious about the Change God statues, perhaps?
Oh, no, not really.
Okay. Well, let me know if you ever want to know more about them, okay?
Was it because you looked at statues too often? Broken. Alright, now that's a different... That is indeed a different dialogue there, or a different thought process now. Okay. I don't know what kind of effect this might have. Memory didn't get unlocked, at least not a memory of statues. Odile is staring at you. You look away. Maybe you shouldn't have looked at that bookcase. I'm a little worried. I'm a little worried that, let's say there are 3 different instances in here where Odile, like, gives us, strange looks. And, we're trying to not be too obvious, at least with this loop. I don't know if this actually counts, because this isn't necessarily, like, a time dilation. But unfortunately is that it does make someone question, like, how in the world do we know about this in what is supposedly a secret sealed off portion of the library? I might have very well just flubbed this all. I don't know if, like, having no secrets revealed or, like, no time dilations being brought up is any sort of accomplishment. It very well might be because then we'd have to remember all of them where they are and just not deal with them. And I don't even know if that's possibly necessary for us to actually get things done. I mean, to beat the game. I have absolutely no freaking clue. Unfortunately. So, yay, we're gonna have to deal with that, I guess. Oh well. Continuing on, as we're still beating this thing with rocks. Aha! We will rock you! So here we are, at the end of floor 2. Just as a checkpoint, nothing too interesting or, like, too different actually happened. Nothing else really of note than, what you've already seen prior. Even though, okay, so we avoided all of the equipment time dilations, but of course, we were being a little dumb in not avoiding the secret library stuff. Didn't exactly occur to me that those would actually trigger something for Odile. But Odile has not had, like, a moment in which, she said that she noticed something weird. But she is still quite suspicious of us. So, there's that. That whole route might be completely shot and all completely my fault. But, knowing better for next time, if there is a next time, and I do rather hope that there is not, I'm not sure how much more emotional damage, quote-unquote, I can take from having to do the loop so many times. It's interesting to know for a design choice that they've actually done it this way. I mean, I'm not sure what other people's experiences have been with having to repeat the loops so many times in order to actually get the good ending of the game. But, I don't know, it still does seem very, very purposeful that they would happen this way. That they would put you through so many emotional rides and force you to do it again. Just as if, like, you yourself are experiencing with Friend. It's very creative and good design choice, I think, as far as, like, for thinking about the way that the game is played, not just for, like, how it's played mechanically, but how the user actually feels and experiences the game. That's actually quite perceptive, and I think it's interesting to just take note of. And yep, I think that's about it. I feel like I was trying to, like, say something a little bit more, but my brain is not working well with the words right now. So we'll just go ahead and proceed. Floor 2 done. Now we go to the 3rd floor, where this time we're really going to have to make sure that we go through the astrology room, or the stargazing room, and then hopefully we can loop back and not lose all of the progress that we have gained. Everyone was healed. Craft skills and experience have been recorded for this location. Save your progress. Okay, here's a new one. Alright, I've now looked at quite a number of pillars and this has been triggered.
You okay, Sif? I really don't think we'll have another switch inside a pillar.
Yes, I think using the same tactic twice would be quite stupid.
But what if one of those columns hides another switch? You can't just take the chance. And if not switches, they might have something in them.
You got the memory of pillars. You'll always remember this.
If you have memory of pillars equipped, examining pillars might give you some cool items. Which is a little weird, I've got to say. Why would you find stuff in them? I don't get it, but that's how the world works now. Yay.
So I've been going through testing the souvenirs that I've had, see if anything else comes out of it. We haven't opened the letter before, and she already has the stylish bow, so I guess it won't hurt to open up the letter from the stylish lady. Okay. You open the letter. It's many pages long. The stylish woman wrote about how she met Mirabelle, how much she admires her, and how she hopes the bow will fit her well. The last page only has one sentence written on it. It just says, "None of us blame you, Mirabelle." Okay, that's interesting. Huh. None of us blame you. Perhaps the stylish woman realizes then that maybe Mirabelle is not actually blessed by the Change God, and so she's still showing Mirabelle her support. Very interesting to think about. Something might actually have been different if I just looked at the letter and probably talked to her about it while we were still in Dormont. I have to remember that. Siffrin is now level 80 and learned the craft skill Rock Bottom. This is great. Okay. We're only really doing fights right now just to try to get everyone up to, quote-unquote max level with all their crafts. Or at least to get all their crafts. Let me see. Odile did recently get her craft buff. For a strike, paper level 5. I think that might actually be her last one. We still need to get 2 more. One from Mirabelle, one from Isabeau. Because we recently just got Mirabelle's Mega Sparkle heal. That would be the group heal. Memory of Secret Quest. Memory of Stargazing. Memory of Faith. Memory of Family. That's right. Okay. We were gonna look at Siffrin's new craft, which is, Rock Bottom. Deals big rock damage to one enemy, gives 2 jackpot points instead of 1. Much like Tear You Apart. Big paper damage. Okay. Well, all of Siffrin's, secondary skills are now leveled up. That's wonderful. I'm kind of scared to see what might happen if for some reason we get to level 99. I certainly hope not so, because every time we defeat the king and come back, is that we get a whole bunch of experience that just poured straight into Siffrin. A big concern, doing me a big concern. Okay, so this happened when Siffrin actually looked at the sparkly shard that we saw, that we picked up on floor 2 from the secret room there. Well, not necessarily the secret room, it was behind, the key phrase door. And now, Siffrin's gone and pricked his finger with it. Ah! Your finger! Did you cut yourself? Here, give me your hand. She gently takes your hand and wraps a bandage around your finger. So nice, even though she tries to pretend she's not. Next to her, Bonnie carefully takes the glass shard from you. And throws it across the room. Why do you have sharp things like this in your pocket anyway? That's a fair question to ask, Bonnie. Then again, it's not like, that Siffrin was rummaging around in their pocket and then suddenly their hand scraped along the glass shard. They just had it. Very well. You remember. The silver coin! This is the silver coin interaction. Okay, I looked at the silver coin. Before you became stuck in time, you passed through little towns for supplies. Everyone had things to do, but you were so stupidly hungry you could barely think, so you stopped at the boulangerie nearby. The boulanger was an old man, but strong. Looked like he woke up smiling every day. Even then, with the threat of the king looming over everyone, wordlessly, you pointed at a croissant, showing some coins. Silently, smiling, he got you your pastry, took your money, gave you 1 silver piece of money back. You both said thank you at the same time, and you both rose. Apart from Issa and Mira, who have the same accent, you all have very different ways of speaking the same language. Makes sense, as you all come from different places. Through your travels, you met a lot of people with Mira and Issa's Volgardian accent, a few with Bonnie's coastal accent, and even fewer with Odile's Cabuian accent. But your accent stayed unique, foreign. The Boulangier's accent was the same as yours. Without breaking eye contact, the old man grabbed your arm. His eyes were stunned, fearful, hopeful, and he said, "Young one, where are you from?" And you couldn't answer. There was no way you could answer. How could you answer? Did he know? Did he remember? Could he answer? Was he asking you? Taunting you? Could he remember the lights still? The shapes they cut in the darkness? Their stories? Did they beat in his chest still? Were they still warming up his heart? Could he speak them and everything into existence? Could he say it? Let the words out? Did he remember? Did he remember? Did he remember? Did he remember? You left the Boulangerie running. You could see the night sky dotted with lights, but your chest was empty. When you ran back, you thought about how you'll always forget about the things you love. It's an immutable fact. But you don't want to forget about your family members, ever. 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 No matter what, you'd make sure that you would always remember. You ate the croissant when you got back to everyone else. It didn't taste like anything. Okay! Well, glad we found that out, just when we're about to go into the stargazing room. That's wonderful. And the silver coin is still there. Yay! I wonder if that triggered because, like, at the time now is that Siffrin now actually has the Memory of Family equipped right now. It could be connected programming-wise, not sure, or if it could be just because we're this far into the game when we check the silver coin. Anyway, we're going to ignore this portion right here because that has the papier-mâché gloves, and we don't want to trigger that. So, moving on. Alright, so now we're outside, hopefully, to the way that is to the Stargazing Room so we can learn more about the king. Finally, we use the Star Crest. Even though it's going to get us locked out.
Wow! Where are we?
There's a big window over there, see?
What? Was there a room like this in the house? Yeah, I remember. Someone was working here. Studying. They looked like... sorry, I can't remember. That's in the sky, though. That's stars. Those are stars, right?
Stars, like the king's armor.
Indeed. We should look around. Rolled up paper, you unroll one, it's a star chart. Rolled up paper, roll one, it's a star chart. A pile of papers. Something is written on them.
Looks like a child tried to write down their first word.
That sure is some awful handwriting.
And a determined child. Looks like they tried to write the same word on all those papers.
pile of papers. But you are not able to read it. Very much in your face there of saying is that, but you are not able to read it. You are not able to read it. Yeah, very much in the language of the stars. A world globe.
We are here.
Isabel points to where you are, on the lower half of the globe. Vogard, the land of change. Kabui is here. Odile points to a big country far from Vogard. Kabui, a country you visited at least once.
And Bambouche is here!
Bonnie points to a spot almost on the edge of Vogard. You look away from the globe. A telescope. It's dusty.
What's that?
Oh, I've seen one of those before. That's a telescope. I think you watch the sky with it?
Like clouds?
Like stars, I think. During the night, since they're not here during the day.
Stars. Boring.
A telescope. Sure as a pillar. Some books. Just looking at them gives you a headache. There's a book in Cobwean open on the table. You all look at Odile. A Cobwean book here in Vogard? How rare. The title translates to Colors Through Time? It seems to be an essay about color theory.
Color theory? That's...
We don't have time for this! Yeah, you don't really care. You can go and reread the book about colors in the secret library if you're so curious. Then what was the point of us coming to this room? A star chart.
What's this drawing for? This looks pretty good.
Not really. It's just dots on lightless paper. I could do that.
The dots on the map look like the sky we can see through the window. Could it be some kind of drawing of the stars?
A map of the stars? But what for?
You gently touch the map. For some reason, you feel empty. Is that it? You don't remember any of these. Good God, is that all that this was worth for? Is that the point? There has to be something else to this, otherwise, why point us in this direction with the king? No. Oh, here we go. A big window.
Stars!
But don't they only appear at night? We left early in the morning, so it shouldn't still be light. So it should still be light outside.
I've heard it's always nighttime near the king. Maybe this is his influence? It was dark around the house yesterday too, remember?
The stars. Stars. Like the king's armor. Stars. Like the king keeps mentioning. Stars. Like... You should remember them. Something in you tells you you should. Every time you raise your head and look up at them, you feel like it's something you've done dozens, hundreds, thousands of times. But you can't remember any of it. You can't remember what you were even trying to see looking up at them. The king. Every time you face him, he asks you the same question. Do you remember? Remembering is not something you're very good at. There's so much you can't remember. You're a very forgetful person, after all. You can't remember basic items. You forget where you're going half the time. You can barely remember people's names. You've noticed you're starting to forget whole loops. You can barely remember anything that happened before you started looping in time. You can barely remember anything that happened before. Before. You. Breathe out and unclench your fists. What you can and can't remember doesn't matter much now, does it? But it does. It freaking does. It freaking does. It's the most important thing right now at this point. The king. Does he want you to remember something? Does he? You should go and ask the king what he wants you to remember later.
Sif? You okay?
Lost in thought, Sifrin? You open your eyes, smile, and shake your head. You have to keep going. Well, tear time. Tear float, certainly. Touch it. Fortunately, yes. That's what we need to do. Touch. A tear froze you in time. Alright, we're gonna open it up, having the keys. Hopefully we still have all of our crafts. Otherwise, we're gonna have to loop again, back to Dormont. Use 5 memories to loop forwards to floor 3 with all doors opened. Yes. Ew, what? Loop 21. Oh! It's been 1, 2, 3. You've just passed your 20th loop. 20. Is that a lot or too little still? Back to it. Hold on a second. Let's check the crafts. Please, 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 please. Yep. We will win. Craft back A. Okay. Wonderful. Okay. Oh! 1,000 blows technique, billion blows technique. Body wax one enemy with their cooking pan, hurting them more than a little bit. Aggression boost technique. Fortress building technique. Wolf speed technique. Life replenishing technique. Heals all family members for 20% of their HP. Or Bonnie misses. Hey, it happens. It does happen. Very well. And what about our souvenirs? We indeed have all the souvenirs. That's great. It's wonderful. We still have to go through everything else and pick up the keys again. And we have to get the key knife. Okay, so it... Oh, interesting. It's a different save point? Right, because with this run, we already hadn't gone through the bathroom, so... Great. So whatever interaction we were supposed to get for this loop around, I guess we've completely missed out on. That's just great. And anything to kind of like save us some time of having to go through everything again. Bathroom. Bathroom! 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 Does anyone need to go again? Just so you know, if you do need to go. When they make books about this moment, I'll be sure to mention how we needed to stop for 2 bathroom breaks. A few people raise their hands. Might as well go too. Alright, let's meet back here once everyone's done powdering their nose. You close the bathroom stall door. Once again, you find yourself here. Helping your family members be the best version of themselves. Mirabelle, who's starting to accept her unchanging self. Odile, who's learning more about her history. Bonnie, who's starting to understand they were never, ever at fault. Isabeau, who just wanted to talk to you. It's the same as before, isn't it? This is as far as their change goes. They will never change more than they do now. Worse, you won't let them. But it's comforting, isn't it? It's nice, isn't it? You could do this forever, and it wouldn't be so bad, would it? You used to think it would be perfect, to remember everything that happened to you. You don't think you were right, but it's nice, still. You'll remember it all, now. You won't forget a thing. Even if you're the only one who remembers this time, you're fine. It's better than the alternative, isn't it? It's fine. It's fine. You're fine. You exit the bathroom. Alright, everyone refreshed. Noses powdered up. Bodies emptied. Emptied! Aha! Emptied! Darcy's asking if you pooped.
All refreshed, nose powdered, and bodies emptied over here, madame.
Sifrin?
You nod.
Good. Let's get going then, shall we? Here we go to pick up the key knife. We should have the key knife, yes? I'm sorry. Why are we back here?
Madame, are you saying stuff was wrong to bring us all the way back to a room we already searched top to bottom because there's only one thing here? Madame, you're so weird.
An intact statue of Aughra. It's the only intact statue in the house, so you can see its face clearly. Look at it a little closer. You stick your tongue out in disgust. This statue's face looks awful.
Can noses look like that?
Wow, that left eye is somehow above the right brow.
I can't tell if they're supposed to be smiling or frowning.
Mira, help us roast the statue's terribly made face. Uh, uh, Mira?
Oh no. Ah. Uh-oh. I was trying to make them look gentle and nice.
Mira, we're so sorry.
Sorry we said your statue sucked. No, it's fine. I'll get my revenge against you all Sunday.
You all shudder. Sir Mirabelle made this statue.
Interesting that it's the only one that wasn't destroyed. Huh. You know very little about this change god, and the statue of them you can find everywhere in Vogard. Maybe you should look at the statues inside the house when you have the time. We already were! Oh my god, so I've been missing out on like some sort of memory just because I didn't come back here and look at this thing. Oh good god. Right, fine, that's fine. So we should have the key knife then, yes? Souvenirs, sharpening stone. Find a key knife, take the key knife and sharpening stone, and mumble repeatedly, please be sharp, 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 please be sharp. Well, it's sharp now. You got the knife key. You put the knife key in your pocket to equip later. No, not later. I think we'll do that now. Thank you very much. Huh, the knife key actually has a lower attack. Actually, I think I remarked upon this already. Forget that. Never mind.
What?
What? What the frick? Seriously? Seriously again? But the universe won't let you. What the hell does that mean? The universe won't let you? You rub your chest to bring back some warmth and think about everyone. Leave the door alone. Now, was that only supposed to happen because we did it in front of this door? Is that the reason why? 56. Inland craft break. Huh. I finally figured it out. Oh, so this is a new skill that she hadn't quite gotten to yet? I thought we had already did that before. Huh. You got the memory of craft break. You'll always remember this. When equipped, your researcher will be able to use craft break as a skill, even if she isn't at level 55. Craft break is a skill that makes an enemy weaker to a craft type's attack for a few turns. This is also the last skill your researcher will be able to learn by leveling up. Don't push her too hard, Stardust. Yeah, I was pretty sure that she had already learned that, but I guess not. Confusion. Anyway, well, at least she has it now. Oh yeah. Oh, craft buff. Okay, I see the difference. I see the difference now. We had learned craft buff, not craft break. Okay. That's the difference in craft break. Alpha is her, is the skill that she learns once you do the side quest for her. Okay, I get it now. Confusion cleared up. I'm just being a dummy and not remembering clearly what was written there in the craft. I suppose that's what friends are for, isn't it? To help with important things. It's pathetic to come back here and hear the same thing over again. But you need the reassurance. Are we friends? Huh?
Yes?
Okay, so this is shaping up to be like the exact same conversation. So I'm a little unsure of including this, but we'll continue for right now just to see if anything's different. If anything changes, if any thought pattern changes, likely. But you said it once, didn't you, Odile?
Huh?
You know it's not the case, but you still have to say your lines. You don't want to risk anything by changing the script, do you? You said we weren't friends. You said we were allies, colleagues at best.
Yeah?
Did I? Odile, how could you?
I don't remember her saying that, but sadly, this does sound like something Odile would say.
Because she does say it most of the time. But you don't care anymore. You only care about now. It's nice to see them make sure you're not sad. Allies? I don't... Well, that does sound like something I'd say, yes. I don't know if I consider you all friends, per se. The five of us are just very different people, with different goals and thoughts. Our age difference makes it difficult for me to see you as friends. After all, why would an old lady be friends with a preteen?
Ow.
It's just strange. So no, to me, we aren't friends. The mere thought is absurd to me.
Way to bring down the morale, madame.
I'm not done. I don't think we're friends, but I would do anything to protect all of you. Horrible things, to be honest, as long as I could be sure you're all safe. And I think you'd all do the same for me, for anyone in our little group. So friends doesn't fit to me, but
But we're family, right?
you try not to smile.
Oh! Yeah! We're family! Like me and Neil. We stay together. We eat together. We say good morning and good night.
Family. I have a difficult relationship with that word, but yes, family fits better, I think.
Family! What a lovely word to describe a relationship with each other.
I already thought of us like that, but it's kind of awkward to say it aloud, isn't it?
It is a little bit, but we don't know what tomorrow or even the next few hours have in store. So while we are still together on this journey, we might as well say it. Say the unsaid. Especially since Sifrin over here seemed to think I didn't care about him. You still think it's the truth, to be honest. This isn't real. No, it is. It is. It's real. You're standing here right now, in front of them. They exist. You exist. Just because you know what happens next doesn't mean it's not real. It is. It is real. Odile reaches over and ruffles your hair. Don't think so hard, Sifrin. Quite honestly, it doesn't seem to work out very well for you.
So mean, madame.
Sifrin's head is all lopsided now. You look funny like this, friend.
You readjust your hat and hide your face. They all look at you, smiling.
I'm bored.
They're quickly losing their shine. You used to eat an entire bowl of them in a heartbeat, giving yourself a tummy ache. Your parents used to gently make fun of you for it, and... Uh-oh. Oh no. No. Sifrin? Sifrin? Sifrin, breathe. Just breathe, Sifrin. You don't need to warp out of this. It's fine. It's fine to have memories. Your... parents? Your head hurts. God damn it! No! Ah, God. Fritters! Malagna fritters! Malagna fritters again. They're quickly losing their shine. You bite into one. This is nice. Even now, you're enjoying this. It's perfect, this path. It's a lot of work, but it's real. In this moment, you are loved. Because you forced them to. Okay, that is indeed a very dark, brooding way to think about it. In some way, yes, Siffrin is partly right, but it's not like you forced everyone to actually make those exact same choices. Even if time is repeating itself and looping itself, they're still in the moment making the choices to say these things, even though you already know what's happening. It doesn't mean that, you're putting, card A into slot A in order to get response A from them. No. I mean, even though, again, this is a game, it's, it's kind of the sense of that, or it's kind of what we're doing, but in the sense of, if this were a real thing, no. It is not. It's that you're not forcing them to love you. It's that they are still making their own choices. Alright, so the snack interactions were certainly just about the same. I think probably more or less. Not a whole lot of difference. Okay, the point of learning how the king, has their influence of the stars, that was basically kind of common sense. Is that, that he has, the effects of stars somewhere on his person, and that we get, and what it more or less does is that it gives us a chance to ask him about the stars, and the fact that he's fixated on them, much like Siffrin is in some ways, and, at least one other person that we meet, that we have met in the past, according to, the whole croissant incident. We discovered that, at least. But now we're going into the king, finally. We're gonna have a chance to talk to him about other things again. And it may be that I'll just go ahead and skip to that, because I doubt much of any of the other battle interactions are going to be the exact same. Is that... oh no. Let me rephrase that. me and my words again. I doubt any of the interactions with the king during the battle are going to be are going to change. The only things that will change are us asking questions. I might go through and re-ask him questions again, that stuff that we've already said, see if anything else comes to light from the fact of other things that we have learned. I don't know. It might be our best chance. But then again, after that, we'll likely just skip right through to the end of the Battle of the King, and then head over to the end, and certainly, hopefully, I really think at this point is that we should get the chance to break away from having to talk to Euphrasia and just go, because talking to her gives us such an emotional response that forces us to jump back to everything. Because our interaction with Loop and the little test that we had, it's proof enough is that Siffrin has control over the loops of when they loop back. And they just tend to do it whenever they get too emotionally stressed. So maybe even this time we might follow our own practices and try to remain calm so we can hear what the rest of Euphrasia has to say. It may not actually even be as bad as what Siffrin thinks it is. We'll just save here real quick just to get things logged. Save your progress, yes. Ask the king. What should I remember? Every single time you face him, he asks if you remember. There's something he thinks you should know. Should remember. But does it really matter, Siffrin? He could just be trying to confuse you.
Yeah! Speaking in riddles to Fred! Stop trying to confuse him! He hasn't forgotten anything!
But you have, haven't you? You try not to think about it, but... What have I forgotten?
Forgotten? Oh, bright one, why?
Why would you ask?
Don't you know at this point what you've forgotten? Haven't you always known? Can't you see the hole it has left behind, if not what used to fill it? Don't you feel it? Its absence? What the crab is he? All of it! You've forgotten it all, Bright One! They all have! We all have! No one can say it! No one can even remember it! It escapes us! It will keep escaping us! Oh, why don't you remember? I can tell everything from your accent to the way you use craft, to the stitching on your cloak and hat, to those pins you wear. You should remember. You and I, of all people standing here, should remember. Bright One, please, please, just remember it. Say it. Make it real. Please. If you can remember, then maybe.
What is happening? Is he okay?
Something we've all forgotten?
I haven't forgotten anything, stupid!
Sif?
Something you've forgotten. Something everyone has, even if they don't pay attention to it. The hole it has left behind. Something bigger than just the stars. What you're trying to remember doesn't exist anymore. But someone might still have written proof it existed, haven't they? And that's the signal for us to go back and check about the Forgotten Country. About the Forgotten Country. Or perhaps even this idea just came to me during that interaction. In any picture of the sky that we have actually seen, of the nighttime stars, there's no moon. There's absolutely no moon. Shouldn't this world have a moon? Where's the moon? Could it be that as well? Where are you from? The king looks straight at you.
What about you, Bright One? Where are you from?
You flinch. Another rewind! Another freaking rewind! You do not answer. You cannot answer. You hear the king laugh. Ask the king. Now here's an interesting thing. We have the option of giving him a flower. This is not something we've actually done. Flower for you. You offer the bright flower to the king. What? Siffrin!
Sif, I don't know how it works where you're from, but in Vogard, we only give flowers to people we, actually like.
I remember that you can give flowers to whoever you want, as long as they're
important. Friends, family, rivals, enemies.
The king takes a step forward and gently takes the flower from your hand.
Bright One, no matter how this battle ends, will you remember me?
Yes.
Huh. Let us make this a moment truly worth remembering then.
Can I just go back? Can I just go back? Can we just avoid this conversation entirely? Please. Please. Can't go back. Of course. Ah, good grief. Yep. Might as well just save it here anyway. Everyone was healed. Even though we didn't really take much damage. The fight with the king was surprisingly extremely short when we went ahead and did it. All that really happened that you just missed out on, I just did 5 paper attacks. Basically, that's it. 5 paper attacks, the paper jackpot went off, and then I threw the bomb. And it was done. We've gotten extremely strong about all of this. It also helps that we had the key knife, or the knife key. We'll just save here, I guess. Even with those little reverses, is that we're still apparently on loop 21. Of course, it's interesting with the conversation pieces we had with the king. We now need to go back through the house and find out more about the country that has disappeared, because that's going to be key for us. We're now a step closer to figuring out what the hell happened with that country. There were some articles about it. No, there was the letter that mentioned it in the second floor library. And I think there was also that letter that got rewritten through time about running away. I think it might have had to do with that country. I'm uncertain. There has to have been possibly some other ways as well. Perhaps even one of the alternate routes areas on the third floor. It could be. I don't recall anything else really important in those areas. The only thing that I knew for certain was like where the observatory was on the third floor. Anyway, I should have been pressing the button through this entire thing. Yep, going to the headmaster's meeting. Yep, hold up, Mirabelle. That's fine. Yeah, let's go. Here again. You loop back once you talk to the head housemaid. It's all over if you talk to her. But why? Mirabelle smiles at you happily. That's the sun. Outside. Yes. Indeed, that is the sun. I'm kind of curious why we're not saying a little bit more. That's the sun. Outside. We're just there. I wonder if things will go out of focus, or like we'll start to focus on something else and have our thoughts wander if we just sit here for just like, I don't know, a minute. Ba, 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 ba. I'm gonna use my mouse here a little bit, so not sure if you'll be able to see it here. But right here has something that looks like a star. That seems to stand out strangely enough for some reason. You know, stars and stuff. Very much being linked to who we are. Look at little ogre dancing. Doop, 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 doop. And the sun is a star. Sun. It's a massive incandescent gas, a gigantic nuclear furnace, where hydrogen is built into helium at temperature of millions of degrees. Anyway, nothing else is happening. Although, Mirabelle was looking at us and was like, you know, having a happy little look on their face. And we can't look at these statues of Ogre. That's fine. It's the only thing left. The only thing left. We have to break the script. This is part of the change belief, right? Breaking traditions, breaking out of the norm. But we can't go back. I'm pushing for it. I really don't want to do this. I really don't want to do this. Because Sif is... I want to think that Sif actually has enough of the fortitude, the mental fortitude to follow their own advice and to just hear things out. But it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. It's all over if you talk to her. Just a little longer. Right, talk to her. This is the end. Traveling one! Are you done talking with your companions? Yes, wonderful, wonderful. I'd like to thank you for accompanying young Mirabelle this far. I'm very grateful. Siffrin, yes? If there's anything I can do to thank you, please don't hesitate to let me know. I know you'll go back to your travels soon, but I do hope you'll keep in touch, if only for young Mirabelle. But no matter what, know that Dormont will always be open to you. Please come back. Any... time. Oh no! Oh no, 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 no!
done soon. Everyone is doing the same thing as usual. Until they notice you. Sifrin? Something wrong? You smile. Oh gosh, this is different. This is different. This is different. Sifrin's giving a different reaction. In this moment, she loves you. Sifrin, what is it? Is everything okay?
Huh? What's happening?
In this moment, he loves you. Fane? In this moment, they love you. Sifrin, what's... In this moment, she loves you. Ah. Sifrin, what's... Ah!
Is something happening around us? It feels like...
My head hurts. It's my fault that you have to suffer like this. Sifrin! Sifrin! They're all running, reaching towards you. They all love you. Sifrin! I just hope that one day... Sifrin! You might learn, isn't it wonderful, to forgive. You could do this forever. What? Loop 23. So it did count. It did count as a loop when we were talking with the king. But my god, that thought pattern is... Well, okay, sadistic is not the right way to put it, but it is certainly unhealthy. The only amount of joy that Sifrin is actually able to get is the fact of, like, knowing the feeling that they're projecting forth is real. Or at least more enough real to them. They're still confused about, like, if their reactions are genuine or not. They still can't believe it themselves. You're back here. You're happy to have helped everyone become the best versions of themselves again. And that's it? That's it? Sifrin, that's all you have to think? We're really starting to fall off the edge. We're really going off the deep end now. I'm extremely worried.